While I enjoy cooking and feel that it really serves my family and their health to cook from scratch, there are definitely times when I'm too busy, too tired, or just not in the mood to cook. Sometimes I'd rather be outside, spending time with my family, or simply just taking a much needed break. But we still have to eat, and that's where my easy go-to meals come in. They are still mostly from scratch, but rely a little bit more on pantry staples, but I make sure none contain weird additives, and most can be thrown together really quickly. We can't do everything 100% all the time, and while I truly enjoy cooking, there are days when I need to keep it simple in the kitchen. I hope this gives you some helpful inspiration for those moments too. Today I'm going to make a Asian style beef with carrots and a little bit of onion, ginger, and garlic. This is a great easy meal that I can make double of. I just start the rice in the rice cooker, so that takes no time, and then we can usually eat this for 2 meals. Now, if you're short on time, feel free to skip the vegetables or just use garlic and ginger powder in place of the fresh. You'll still get a pretty decent flavor with that. But while that's cooking, I just mix up the sauce. It's made of water, coconut aminos, and maple syrup with a little bit of sesame oil. I add that in, cover the pan, and let everything steam until the carrots are tender and the sauce has thickened. If you don't have coconut aminos, I sometimes use soy sauce in place, and that is great too. This simple, balanced, and flavorful meal comes together in about 30 minutes, especially with the rice cooker, and it's enough to satisfy us for 2 meals. I made it earlier in the day so we could sneak in a late afternoon trip to the park now that the weather's cooling down. Having a few quick, wholesome meals like this in my back pocket makes room for more moments like these. Next is one of my favorite Tex-Mex recipes. It's basically all your favorite taco ingredients baked together in an oven. And I like this because you don't really rely on having to make tortillas, which take a little bit more time. I saute the onion, a poblano pepper, and a bell pepper. Zucchini would be great here too, or some beans for extra fiber. Add in your favorite ground meat. My kids really tend to eat a little bit more turkey than ground beef, so that's what I use, along with garlic and your normal taco spices. I typically do a little bit less chili powder and a little bit more cumin. Then stir in a few tablespoons of tomato paste, chicken stock, a can of diced tomatoes, and top it all with a generous layer of cheese and bake for about 10 minutes until everything is just bubbly and golden. I like to serve it with crunchy avocado oil, tortilla chips on the side, which is perfect for scooping. Rice is also good, super satisfying and healthy with low amount of effort and time. Focaccia is one of my favorite easy breads. It's incredibly simple to make with no kneading, no long rise times, nor complicated steps. I lean on it when I'm short on time but still want something homemade and delicious. This version isn't sourdough, which makes it even easier, although in my opinion, I think it's not quite as flavorful. But you just mix the dough the night before or up to 3 days in advance and let it rest in the fridge until you're ready to use it. I usually just mix it at night, refrigerate it overnight, then pour into a pan with olive oil in the morning and let it rise until after lunch. Then the fun part comes in making those classic dimples and adding a little unnecessary but fun decoration. It bakes in just 25 minutes. It's perfect for lunch or dinner, especially served with some whipped ricotta, homemade pesto, and a simple tomato salad. Fresh tomatoes this time of year really make this so delicious, and store-bought pesto can work here too. I just recommend checking the brand on Yuka. But if you've got a big basil plant, it's way more affordable to make this on your own. It's a little bit better if you roast the garlic and pine nuts, but that step is not essential. To go with this, I'm just gonna make a really quick whipped feta, which is just ricotta cheese and some lemon whipped together, and a nice little tomato salad because we have plenty of those now. That with a pesto and this delicious bread makes a really nice, quick Saturday meal. Sometimes for lunch we'll just have a piece of fresh bread with whipped ricotta on top and a drizzle of honey. It's so simple, so good. For the tomato salad, I keep it simple: ripe tomatoes, splash of balsamic vinegar, olive oil, salt, and pep. It pairs beautifully with the bread as a dipping sauce too. I made this batch of focaccia with half whole wheat flour for a little bit more of a nutritional boost, but if you prefer a more fluffier, lighter texture, stick with all-purpose. I kind of stopped trying on salmon recipes with my toddler, so I'm gonna try again one. It's been about 6 months, so he just would never eat it, but I know it's so good for us, so I'm gonna try again and see if at least my baby will like it. I'm gonna make it with some sweet potato cubes, so they'll like it, and rice, so even if they don't eat it, you know, they have something else to eat. Because I bought the wild salmon from Costco to get a good deal on it, I'm just going to marinate half in a freezer bag and half to go in the fridge for tonight, and then I can take out the freezer bag another day. Fingers crossed the kids like it. It's just soy sauce, honey, garlic, a little bit of sesame oil, and ginger. I've mentioned this before, but the best way to cut fish are with big kitchen shears. You don't have to get a cutting board messy or do any of that. Tonight I'm going to bake this one, but I think I'm going to air fry it after it's been frozen. I think it'll be better like that. There's a lot of extra sauce here, but it all goes in to a nice glaze afterwards. I peeled and diced the sweet potatoes after lunch to make dinner time easier, then just tossed them in a little coconut oil, salt, pepper, a little paprika, and roasted them in the oven until tender and golden. Since the oven wasn't used, I decided to try cooking the salmon on stovetop over a low heat with the lid on to help get the skin a little bit crispier. I just find fish is better when it's been fried a little bit, but the marinade does tend to burn, so I added a splash of water every now and then to keep that in check. I also simmered the leftover marinade for about 5 to 8 minutes until it was fully cooked and slightly thickened. It made for a great sauce for the fish, the rice, and the sweet potatoes. A rice cooker makes this meal really easy, and the extra sauce really brought everything together. It ended up being a huge hit, which I was surprised by. My oldest kept asking for more of that pink stuff. I think 3 times I had to go get more pink stuff. So great. Not so much for my youngest, but he loved the sweet potatoes and rice. Green beans sauteed in soy sauce would also be a quicker side dish if you're short on time. A hands-off meal I go to often when I know I can't cook in the evening is chili. You can use any ground meat you like here. I saute some onion and ground turkey in the morning, then toss it in the slow cooker with tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, and your favorite beans and mix of spices. We really like pinto beans and kidney beans here. And again here I tend to use a little bit more cumin and less chili powder so it stays flavorful without being too spicy, which is good for kids that aren't used to heat yet. Paired with rice, thanks rice cooker again, it makes for a super easy and satisfying dinner with plenty of leftovers for lunch the next day. We mix up the toppings depending on what's in the fridge, like guacamole, avocado, sour cream or Greek yogurt, pickled onions. Sometimes I just add normal pickles, shredded cheese, tortilla chips, or fresh cilantro. And kimchi cucumber is surprisingly good with it too. To make it a little bit different the next day for lunch, I usually eat it with that. I hope this gave you some fresh inspiration for those days or seasons when you just don't feel like cooking or can't. If so, please like and subscribe to follow along for more. I appreciate you.